Hello!
Yo! And welcome to another exciting episode of Project Helium Tears. Today we're going to be talking about the cameras we've chosen for our mission.
Yeah, we've got a 3 camera setup that we'll be sending up to near space. 2 GoPros and a mobile phone camera. The GoPros we've chosen are the GoPro Hero. It's waterproof. It comes in it's got a little pop-out waterproof case, so you can access the SD card. It does 1080p video and has a 5 megapixel camera, but we will be using it purely for the 1080p video. The fact that it costs 95 quid is actually really good for the quality of camera that it is. That was a big factor in choosing this one.
Nice little complete package.
We also have a GoPro Hero Silver 3. I think there's the Silver and the Silver Plus. We've chosen this one because it's got a really good bit of glass on the front of it. Also does 1080p video, but it's the 11 megapixel camera that we're really after because we're going to use this one for video and we're going to take still photographs with this one. And the other camera that we've got is we've got an HTC Desire S. Nick Moss, thank you very much, really appreciate it. It's got a 720p camera on the back and it's got a 640x480 selfie camera on the front. So we are going to be using, that's our 3 camera setup. Phil's been testing all of them to see how they actually respond in real world conditions.
I have indeed. Yeah, I've run a few tests on both of these GoPros. I haven't run many tests on the HTC yet because we currently haven't got a SIM card to test any of the tracking, and we haven't had it for long. So both of these I've been testing them for recording time in sort of room temperature conditions, and also the best way we could simulate roughly what they're going to experience in the upper atmosphere, which is something like -60, was to chuck them in my freezer. Both of them performed very well. They don't lose much recording time due to the cold. They both record on full spec 1080p 30 frames per second for about between 2 hours 10 and 2 hours 50. Surprisingly, the basic Hero actually performed for longer than the Hero 3 Silver. They've also been underwater at the bottom of my family koi pond and in sinks and various things like that. We've done a little bit of testing on the HTC Desire. We've actually been experimenting with the selfie cam, as you call it, on the front. More about that later. We've also managed to get Find My Droid installed in it, which if you guys have got iPhones, there's Find My iPhone. It's quite a similar thing. Once we've got to grips with it, we're going to be using that for a bit more tracking and hopefully we'll have more chance of finding it.
Yes, for the balloon. That's going to be
for
a
the balloon.
camera.
For the balloon, yeah.
Today we had we were doing some testing of the cameras. We had high ideals. We were thinking of buying some helium balloons and putting the camera and the tracker up below the helium balloons to actually get some real life shots of what it looks like going up and spinning around under the bottom.
But it was not meant to be.
Yeah, with gusting 40-mile-an-hour winds, we got all the way outside with the kits, and by the time we got there, we said, "This is stupid. We can't risk the camera or any of the kit with conditions like we've had today." So,
but we chose not to waste the day, and we went out and about anyway. We realised we haven't captured any footage from any of these cameras in sort of real-world daylight conditions. So we went for a little wander in the park. We went down Brentwood High Street, and we got some interesting things, didn't we?
Yeah, it was interesting in the park because under the camera, the balloons. Under the balloon, the cameras will be rotating like that, and we didn't know how it would look with video and how it would look with stills, so we tried to recreate that basically by standing there and spinning round, which would have looked very special if you were in the park, but hell, we're doing it for science. So thank you for the little video on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, I'm
Phil
sure you all
captured me actually in full flow there. But yeah, no, we caught some interesting stuff. It does look like the images on the video are mostly a little bit blurry, but actually, because it's a video, it'll be fine. You'll see the fact that hopefully planet Earth is rotating around, so you won't mind a little bit of blur. Taking a shot every half a second with the 11 megapixel camera gave us some really clear results. It will be really bright up there, so we'll have a really fast shutter speed. Obviously, it will be really bright. We'll be in space above all the clouds and all the air. So any spinning will hopefully we won't see it because the shutter speed will be so fast. So
and also this guy was the obvious choice. This is our king camera. When this guy's capturing, she's taking 11 megapixel, really deep, nice images with a lot of detail. This one's a lovely camera, but it's a little bit more contrasty and a little bit more fuzzy. Still captures great images.
yeah,
But this
still looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
But
they are fantastic cameras. But this one, because it will be capturing the video, it will hopefully capture the adventure of going from the ground into space and then back down again. It will be one constant stream, whereas this will hopefully capture really beautiful individual shots. So yeah, I mean, when we talk about contrast.
yeah, there was that moment when we found a nice spot driving down a hill in Brentwood with me hanging out the side of the window of the car, where you could actually see into the city. You could see the Shard, Canary Wharf, that kind of thing. The Hero, when it was pointing at the sun, all the trees around were blacked out, and where the sun was very high contrast, the city was invisible. You couldn't see it. Whereas this one captured a lovely, more realistic image, and you could actually pick out details of buildings and stuff like that. So, fantastic camera.
Yeah, and just on the difference between video and stills, the moon was rising above some trees in the park, and when we videoed the moon, when we zoomed in on it afterwards, the moon was all pixelated and noisy and not very nice. Whereas when we took the stills, okay, it's not a telephoto lens. It won't give you that great amount of zoom, but we just got a lot more detail.
You got a moon rather than 4 pixels.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it was still a moon from a lot closer up.
So we did actually get some worthwhile testing done today, even though the balloon idea didn't quite work.
Yes, and actually something else that messed us up slightly was our GPS tracker. Actually, the tracker worked fine. But the SIM card that I bought for it, the package that we bought isn't the package that we've actually got, so we used up all of our credit about a month ago, so I need to go and have a word with a certain mobile phone supplier shop, naming no names.
Sorry?
So
I guess that's about it from us for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Hope you got something out of that. Stay classy, keep watching. We're getting closer to space.
See you next time. Moon.